the little girl stood at the bakery window, nose pressed to the glass, eyes wide with wonder. Every day after school, she stopped by the corner shop to stare at the cakes, particularly the small vanilla one with pink roses. It wasn't grand, but to 8-year-old Anya, it was perfect. Her mother's birthday was coming, and for weeks, Anya had saved every coin she could find, picking up dropped pennies, skipping snacks, and even secretly folding her bus fare into her worn sock to walk home instead. She didn't know if it would be enough, but she knew one thing for sure: this year, her mom was going to have a real birthday cake. Mr. Kapoor, the bakery owner, had noticed the little girl long before she ever stepped inside. She reminded him of his own daughter who had passed away many years ago. He watched from behind the counter as Anya stared longingly at the display case, her tattered backpack slipping off one shoulder, her shoes slightly too small. He never said anything. Just polished the glass and observed silently as she pressed her palm against the window like it might bring her wish closer. Anya's home was a one-room rental on the edge of the city. Her mother worked long hours at a garment factory, coming home with aching feet and tired eyes but always a smile for her daughter. One day, she'd whisper to Anya, "We'll have our own little bakery, and you can eat all the cake you want." But life hadn't made that dream easy. Some nights, there was no dinner. Some mornings, only tea and dry bread. Still, Anya never complained. She had a mission now. Week by week, the coin jar under her bed grew heavier. She counted them every night, mostly pennies, a few nickels, and a precious dime or two. She even found a torn dollar bill stuck under the couch one day and cried tears of joy. She had no idea how much the cake really cost, but she believed her little treasure would be enough. She had hope, and that was everything. Finally, the day arrived. Her mother's birthday. Anya woke early, put on her best dress, a faded yellow frock with a missing button, and tucked the jar carefully into her backpack. She walked to the bakery, rehearsing what she would say. "I'd like the small vanilla cake with pink roses, please. It's for my mom. She's the best." She stepped into the shop, heart pounding. Mr. Kapoor looked up as the bell above the door jingled softly. She placed the jar on the counter and began pouring out the coins, her hands trembling. "I've been saving," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "For my mom's birthday. This one, please." He watched her quietly, not interrupting, not rushing. The pile of coins barely covered half the cost of the cake. Anya looked up at him with wide eyes, waiting, hoping. Mr. Kapoor glanced at the cake, then at the jar, and finally into the little girl's eyes. "Just a moment," he said gently, and turned to the back. Anya stood still, afraid he might say it wasn't enough. That she had failed. But then he returned, not only with the cake she'd picked, but with a bright ribbon tied around the box and a small note tucked inside. "That'll be exactly what you've brought," he said with a smile. "In fact, I think you gave me a little extra." Anya's eyes welled up. "Really?" "Absolutely," he nodded, his voice warm. "Your heart paid the rest." She ran home, clutching the cake like a treasure chest. When her mother opened the door and saw it, she fell to her knees and pulled Anya into her arms. "How did you?" she whispered, overwhelmed. Anya simply said, "You always smile for me, even when you're tired. I wanted you to smile today too." That night, they shared the cake in candlelight. Just the two of them, laughing, crying, and holding on to each other. The pink roses were slightly melted, and the frosting uneven, but to them, it was the most beautiful cake in the world. The next morning, Mr. Kapoor opened his shop to find a tiny envelope taped to the door. Inside was a drawing of him, Anya, and her mother, smiling beside a giant cake. On the back, in childlike handwriting, were the words, "Thank you for making my mom's dream sweet again." Moral of the story: kindness doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes, just believing in someone's love is enough to make the world a little sweeter.